Yeah, I'm Sans Skeleton. Oh, hey Sans. So I have a series of questions asked by many of your adoring fans. Would you like to answer some? Sure, I won't shy away from anything. And please, don't be afraid to ask me any of the questions you've seen. I bet you'd be amazed with how many of them are quite inappropriate. Oh my. Yeah, like I said, there's nothing I'm afraid to answer. It's not like I haven't heard them before. They've been asked to me repeatedly. Okay, so Sans, are you part of a nuclear war? No, I think that's just a rumor that was spread on the surface. It's nothing to worry about. In fact, all the rumors mill about me on the surface is a bit ridiculous. Although those rumors did lead to my becoming famous on the surface moment. So while most of them are ridiculous, they did result in a positive outcome for me. Some of them really stretch out the truth though. Really? You heard that question before? Yes. People in the underground especially just love speculating about life on the surface, and their imagination really runs wild. I've heard people asking, is your house just a giant toilet? And all sorts of other questions like that. Most of the rumors they have about the surface are either really silly or just flat out wrong. Did anyone ever ask if you were Ness? I've been asked that so many times. I am not Ness. People have always asked me that, and I do not put my opinion out in public because it's not my place to tell people if they're right or not. But I feel like it's time to put my foot down and explain I am not Ness, and I'm not related to him in any way. Question! Sans, why is your name lowercase? Because I don't like all the attention being capitalized gets. Besides, if I was capitalized, it would definitely add to my already negative reputation. I want to prove that I'm more than what people say about me, and being low-key is a great way to start. Question, Sans, do you want to have a bad time? Yeah, I've always thought that I'm really good at not taking my anger out on others, but if someone is actively seeking to cause me harm, that's a different story. Some people can be so cruel in the way they treat others just for the sake of it. I'm more than happy to be cruel to those who deserve it in return. They certainly won't be expecting it. Sans, if you actually have such powers, when Flowey traps you, why didn't you use the Gaster Blaster to shoot the vines, or to teleport, or just help the kid out? Simple answer, because then the plot wouldn't happen anymore. But seriously, I was a bit confused about how the plot would progress if I were to step in and help the kid. I didn't feel like I should interfere. That would just make things more confusing than they already were. And plus, we all know what happens when people start meddling with the plot, don't we? Yes. Or you saw that? You poor soul. Yeah, I think that's a good example of why interfering with the plot is a terrible idea. I would never do anything that would compromise the game. Not only is it unethical, it also messes up the pacing of everything. I'm just on for the ride, buddy. Sans, have you tried Krabby Patties? I sent you one to your house. Bah! SpongeBob. I love them. You really didn't have to send on one over. I used to watch SpongeBob when I was a little bitty kid all the time. I knew it may be a bit childish, but I guess I'm just nostalgic for my youth. You can't imagine how many SpongeBob plushies I had. It was just too much. My brother still has the big one. He refuses to get rid of it, even after all the years have passed. Weird question. Can skeletons sneeze? Because they don't have noses, but can die and smell somehow. They certainly can. I just sneeze just instead of, spit. And since skeletons are undead, they can still smell things. I wouldn't know exactly how to describe it. It's just a natural phenomenon. It's like when you have a bunch of dead bodies in a space and the smell becomes almost tangible. It's just a natural phenomenon. It's like when you have a bunch of dead bodies in a space and the smell almost becomes tangible. Don't you just love the little things about being dead? Well, hey, who put that there? Wow, that was quite a bad sneeze. I think I felt everything in my body rattle when I sneezed. Well, it's not all bad. You can't get sick as a skeleton, so I don't have to worry about getting a cold or a flu. Oh my gosh, what is this? Who is doing this to me right now? Stop it! They're falling like rain. Oh my gosh.
Howdy!
Oh my gosh, that was horrible. Let me breathe.
Nope.
Gesundheit. Sans, who were you as a human? I was a scientist of human and monster biology. I wanted to see if there was a way that I could help restore the balance between humans and monsters without violence. I wanted to be like a peacemaker, but you can probably imagine how that turned out. Sans, final question. What's the age difference between you and Papyrus? It's a pretty big one. I'd say a few decades at least. Give or take a decade or two. I was already an adult by the time Papyrus was born, and even then, I was getting too old to be in the prime of my scientific career. Well, that wraps everything up. Thanks for being here. Well, yeah, thanks for having me.